Why is your life not changing? Why are you stuck in the same cycle of disappointment, frustration, and missed opportunities? Well, I have talked to thousands of people, and after hearing countless stories, I've realized the one thing holding most people back from manifesting their dream life, and it's not what you think. If you're tired of feeling stuck, this video is going to change the way you see things forever. Hello, I'm Christy, nurse practitioner and health coach, and this is Trauma Free. And here I help you change your mind and change your life. Most people don't realize that they are attached to their limitations. Even when they claim they want to change, they hold on to old beliefs, patterns, and narratives that feel comfortable. As humans, we crave familiarity, even when it's hurting us. Why? Because from the moment we enter this world, we are conditioned by family, society, and our cultural backgrounds to accept certain beliefs as absolute truth. These beliefs shape our identity and influence the way we perceive the world. Over time, they become ingrained in our subconscious, dictating our decisions, behaviors, and our emotions. Without realizing it, we build our lives around these internalized truths, often limiting ourselves in ways we don't even recognize. And then, when we attempt to manifest something new, nothing changes. Why? Because we're still attached to the old timeline we claim we want to break free from. Neuroscience confirms that our brain forms neural pathways based on repeated thoughts and behaviors. According to a study published in Nature Neuroscience, the brain's plasticity allows it to rewire itself, but only with consistent effort and exposure to new beliefs and experiences. In other words, the more we reinforce a belief, even a limiting one, the stronger and more automatic it becomes. This explains why change feels so difficult, because the brain defaults to well-worn neural pathways, making us feel like we are stuck in old patterns. Our subconscious mind is wired for survival, not necessarily happiness. It prioritizes what is known because the unknown feels like a potential threat. This is why people remain in toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, and self-sabotaging behaviors. Not because they consciously want to, but because the discomfort of change seems greater than the discomfort of staying the same. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people tend to prefer familiar outcomes over uncertain but potentially better alternatives due to cognitive biases like status quo bias and loss aversion. Essentially, we resist change not because we don't want it, but because our subconscious is wired to equate the familiar with safety. To truly manifest something new, you must first detach from the old beliefs and emotional states that keep you anchored in the past. This requires a conscious effort to challenge the narratives you've been conditioned to accept. And there are 4 steps to overcome your attachment to limiting beliefs. Number 1, identify your limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, what assumptions have I accepted as truth? Where did they come from? Are they serving me? Number 2, challenge familiarity bias. Recognize when you're choosing comfort over growth and intentionally step outside your comfort zone. And 3, rewire your brain. Use affirmations, visualization, and mindfulness to build new neural pathways that align with your desired reality. And number 4, embody the new timeline. Stop identifying with the past version of yourself. Begin acting, thinking, and feeling as if your new reality is already here. By shifting your mindset and detaching from the familiar but limiting narratives, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that exist beyond your current perception. The circle of limitation can be broken, but only if you're willing to let go of what feels safe and step into the unknown with faith and intention. Now let's talk about the law of assumption. Popularized by Neville Goddard, this concept says that your beliefs and assumptions shape your reality, not your actions, not your circumstances, not luck. That means if you assume that success is hard, you will struggle. If you assume that love is painful, you will attract toxic relationships. If you assume that you'll never be wealthy, you'll stay broke, no matter how hard you work. Your external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. It doesn't matter how many affirmations you say or how much effort you put in it. If deep down you assume you're unworthy or that change is impossible, your subconscious will make sure your reality reflects that. So, how do you use the law of assumption to manifest the life you want? That's easy. Step 1. Assume the desired reality. Instead of focusing on what you lack, assume that your desire is already a reality. This means fully stepping into the belief that you already are the person you want to be, which will require the use of your imagination. Step 2. Act as if. Embody the mindset, habits, and emotions of the person who already has what you want. If you assume wealth, carry yourself with confidence and make decisions like someone who is financially free. If you assume love, stop doubting whether people value. Assume that they do. And step 3, persist in the belief. No matter what your current circumstances say, hold on to your assumption until it materializes. The key here is persistence. Your current reality is just a reflection of your past assumptions. Stay firm in your new belief and the world will shift to match it. Imagine this. If you were standing in front of a door that was closed, presumably locked, and you desperately wanted to get to the other side because you believe that's where your success, love, or happiness exists. Most people knock once, maybe jiggle the handle, and when it doesn't open immediately, they assume it's impossible. They say, see, it wasn't meant for me. But the person who understands the law of assumption doesn't just knock. They assume the door is already open. They act accordingly, and instead of waiting for permission, they open the door to their dreams because in their mind, the door was always open. This is where most people fail. They assume things aren't possible before they even try. They let their past experiences dictate their future. But when you shift your assumptions, your reality has no choice but to follow. Manifestation is not just about daydreaming. It's about rewiring your mind, and that takes discipline. When you first start assuming a new reality, your mind will fight back. Your subconscious is going to throw every single limiting belief back in your face. Like, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. Or this is unrealistic. Most people give up at this point. Your brain is designed to seek efficiency. It wants to stick to familiar thought patterns because they require less energy. This is backed by neuroscientific research on neuroplasticity, which shows that the brain forms habitual neural pathways over time. When you introduce a new belief system, your brain initially resists because it hasn't yet created strong neural connections for this new way of thinking. This is why discipline is non-negotiable. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to push through resistance. It's what helps you detach from old assumptions and stay focused on the new reality you're creating. The more you can repeat a belief and act in alignment with it, the stronger those neural pathways become, making the assumption feel more natural over time. Most people fail because they lack the patience and persistence required to override their old programming. They get discouraged when their circumstances don't change instantly. But the truth is, your external world is just a delayed reflection of your past assumptions. If you stop before the shift happens, you only reinforce your old reality. This is why mastering discipline is the key to manifestation. Without it, you will never be able to sustain a new belief system long enough for it to take root into your subconscious. This is why mastering discipline is the key to manifestation. Without it, you will never be able to sustain a new belief system long enough for it to take root in your subconscious. Everything in your world first existed as a thought. Before a house is built, it's designed in someone's mind. Before a business is successful, it begins as an idea. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thoughts at the subconscious level. One of the most powerful techniques, the ladder technique. Try this out and see how it works for a few nights. Before you go to bed, close your eyes and imagine yourself climbing a ladder. Feel your hands gripping the ladder as you go up. Visualize your feet stepping up. Engage all your senses. Feel the texture of the ladder, the slight strain in your muscles as you climb. After a few days, your subconscious will begin creating situations where you physically encounter a ladder, whether it's in a dream, a random conversation, or seeing one unexpectedly in real life. This simple experiment proves that your subconscious mind is always working to make your assumptions a reality. Now imagine using this same technique to manifest your dream career, perfect relationship, or financial freedom. Instead of a ladder, visualize yourself signing the contract for your dream job. Feel the weight of the pen in your hand, the excitement in your chest, the texture of the paper, or picture yourself receiving a deposit alert on your phone for a large sum of money. Hear the notification sound. See the numbers in your bank account. Your subconscious does not know the difference between imagination and reality. What you assume and persist in believing will materialize in your life. The only thing stopping you from shifting your reality, your willingness to fully commit to your new assumption. Here's the truth. You have default programming running in your subconscious, and it's keeping you trapped in the same loop. For me, one of the biggest beliefs I had to detach from was how others perceived me. I second-guessed myself, doubted my potential, and realized that these limiting beliefs weren't even mine. They were my mother's. She projected her fears, her doubts, her limiting beliefs onto me, and I carried them for years without even realizing it. And I'm not alone in this. The science behind subconscious conditioning research in neuroplasticity shows that our brains are wired by repeated thoughts and experiences. According to Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist, 95% of our behaviors and beliefs are controlled by our subconscious mind, which is primarily programmed during early childhood. If we don't intentionally reprogram our subconscious, we will keep repeating the same patterns, no matter how much we consciously desire change. So if you feel stuck, it's not because you're incapable. It's because your subconscious mind is still running an outdated script on autopilot. So what you need to do today is first, identify your limiting beliefs. What's holding you back? Where did this belief come from? And who taught you that? Many people realize their biggest limitations were passed down from parents, teachers, or society. If you were constantly told that money is hard to earn or that love is painful, you likely internalize these assumptions, even if they don't align with your true desires. And second, practice non-identification. Not every thought that enters your mind is true or yours. You have to learn to observe your thoughts without attaching yourself to them. When a limiting belief pops up, pause and ask yourself, is this actually my belief or was it given to me? Just because a thought exists doesn't mean it's your truth. And third, reprogram your mind. Once you recognize a belief no longer serves you, you need to replace it with a new assumption. Use imagination, assumption, and discipline to install new beliefs that align with the life you want. Let me give you an example. If you've always believed you're not smart enough to succeed, start assuming I am intelligent, capable, and success comes easily to me. And fourth, detach from the old you. As you release limiting beliefs, you also release the old version of yourself that held on to them. This will definitely be uncomfortable because you are stepping into the unknown. But remember, the old you was attached to a reality that no longer serves you. Growth requires letting go of who you thought you were so you can step into who you are meant to be. This is the real inner work, the work that most people avoid because it requires facing uncomfortable truths. But if you do this, you will break free from the subconscious cycle that's been holding you back. Neville Goddard said, "When man finally identifies himself with his imagination rather than his senses, he has at long last discovered the core of reality." Your imagination is the key. Your assumptions shape your world. Your discipline ensures your success. You are not stuck. You are simply operating under outdated assumptions. Change that and you change everything. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. What's one limiting belief you're ready to let go of or already have? Let's start rewriting our lives today. And if you're serious about mastering manifestation, make sure you subscribe to Trauma Free for more transformational insights every week. And take care.